Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're reacting to some decoy voice when protesters try to fight. No. This was uploaded 2 hours ago.
Yesterday, massive anti-Trump.
And he said this was yesterday. I had zero fucking clue this shit happened yesterday. Like, which is wild. I didn't receive a single fucking notification about any of this at all through ground news, which baffles my mind. I'll probably have to look into that. Yeah.
Protests broke out all across the country, from Boston all the way to Chicago, covering the streets of Washington, D.C. But as online journalist Nick Shirley,
I will never understand it. Like, they want to stay here in America, so their solution to that is fly the country they don't want to go back to. Fly the flag of the country they don't want to go back to. That always baffled my mind. It's like, you want to stay here, but you're not patriotic to here, to this country. It's like, what? It just baffles my mind that they're flying like these Canadian flags and the flags that they're from, like whatever flag these are. But they're choosing to stay here. They don't want to go back to their own country, which is kind of confusing. It's like, if you have that much pride in where you come from, why don't you go back? Why do you want to stay here? Huh? But they immediately fucking deflate when you ask those questions. They fold like a fucking wet napkin.
Shows us these guys were idiots.
I just want to remind you of
Oh my
protest
God.
procedure. Don't film unless it's consent of anyone's faces. And
It's a public space.
Public property, though, so we can film.
Are you part
Yeah.
of the protest?
Hey,
You don't have to be to film.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me!
Bruh, he's not even touching him.
You touched me! Don't touch me!
He's touching
Can we
him.
get someone around these people, please?
Oh,
Elbows!
easy, easy.
Elbows!
Easy,
Elbows!
easy, easy.
The tolerant left, by the way.
Wait,
Yeah, the tolerant
don't
left.
let me go. Ooh, what are you gonna...
Look how out of his way he's going to do this. This is sad and pathetic. Still wearing a mask, has a fucking safety vest on. Like, brother. I can't point out the belly. I have a belly. I got this belly too. It's not that fucking big though, but I got a belly, so I can't be like, oh, he got a belly, he fat because I'm fat. But you know what? At least I'm not out here doing stupid shit like this. Like, bro, it's a public space. You're allowed to record. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's his right. It's a First Amendment right.
What are you gonna do?
Elbows!
Elbows! Elbows!
Watch.
Elbows! If vegans have taught us anything, it's that elbows definitely work.
Dude, you touched me. Bro, get off me. He's touching me. I know I'm attracted, but I'm not that attracted to be
Damn.
Come on, man, get off me.
Stink on poop.
Bro, these...
Oh, help! Help! He's hurting me! Help!
Yells at his face. Yep.
Help! He's touching me!
Bro, you...
Hey, you're breaking into people.
I'm not... Help!
I have no idea how
It's
you can
wild. Hive mentality, dog.
and still end up squealing in town.
You're walking...
Shirley was gonna.
Dude, that dude said you're walking into people like some fat fuck. I went there. I don't care. I'm overweight. To shut the fuck up. Oh, fat phobic. Yeah, I am fat phobic. I'm scared of being fat, and I am currently fat because fat leads to death at an early age, and I don't want to die so young. Fucking call me fat phobic. I don't care. It's called the fear of dying young. But anyways, you got Fat Fuck McGee over here literally holding him back, and he's like, "You're hurting me," as he's literally trying to hold the dude and stop him from walking. A, that's you're already laying your hands on him, so that's justification enough for him to like punch you and knock you on your ass. B, you getting in front of him, that's entrapment, so that's another law that's being broken, so he has a right to defend himself however he deems himself, however he sees. He can defend himself with violence if he needs to, if he thinks that he has to, is what I'm trying to say. But it's a wild
guy to come film himself attacking
fucking
anybody.
brain
You'd have to
fart.
be a special kind of stupid to think that. But stupidity seemed to be a common theme here.
Yeah.
So what makes Trump a fascist?
Oh, man. You'd think Asians of all people would be more in support of Trump and more right wing, considering, you know, how China is and how North Korea is, which is south of China. How I don't know if Vietnam is still fucking communist or not, but Vietnam during the Vietnam War, granted, America really fucked that one up too, but yeah, like you'd think Asians of all people would be the ones that would not be supporting this type of shit, calling Trump a fascist and shit like that, when you have current actual dictators running China and North Korea.
What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews.
And what brings you out here today?
Yeah.
What doesn't?
Can you explain?
What the fuck? The kakistocracy. What the fuck even is that? What kind of made up word is this, dude? Are these the white dudes for Harris? Is this who they were trying to attract? These white dudes for Harris? Making up words and shit? What the fuck is this?
Explain a little bit for our viewers what this means.
Go ahead.
Raise your hand out.
Checks notes?
Government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state. Seems to fit, doesn't it?
And here's where my skepticism begins.
Where was that term with when Biden was 4 years in office? Because he sure as hell seemed unsuitable for the position in office that he was in. Like, like I said at the start, this is what baffles me. It's like people will bitch and moan. Like, Trump is literally not even half a year into his term, and people are already bitching and moaning about how he's destroying the economy. Like, bro, it's fucking April, dog. He was sworn into office like 2 fucking months ago. And people are like, oh my god, he's destroying our country. Where the fuck was that tone when Biden was in office? Like, holy shit, dog. Like, bro, y'all people need to chill with this whole fucking Trump's destroying the country when he's hasn't even been in office yet for more than fucking 3 months. On January, we got the statement that he would be sworn into office, and then he wasn't sworn into like February, end of January, early February. So why are we complaining when he's been in for February, March, April? We're barely in April. He's been in for 2 months, and people are bitching and moaning that he's destroying this economy and ruining the country. And I'm just like, bruh, where was this attitude fucking throughout Biden's entire administration and entire run? Where was this attitude when Kamala was put in charge of the border and she essentially just opened the border and let anyone and everyone in with absolutely no checks whatsoever into their background to see if they actually would serve a purpose here or just be fucking criminals and shit, like all those MS-13 gang members and shit? Where was all the complaints then? But no. Trump's in office, so we gotta blame Trump for everything, right? Oh, the prices of eggs went up just as Biden was leaving and Trump was entering. Oh, we gotta blame Trump on that too. Like, what? It's ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous. This whole spiel of Trump caused all these problems is ridiculous. The dude isn't even in the fucking Oval Office bed isn't even warmed up yet to his liking, and people are blaming him and shit like he's been in for months.
As you don't give up your Saturday to protest on behalf of something you don't even understand, unless you were possibly being compensated to be there. As curiously, a lot of these protests seem to be comprised of mainly old people. Even over in Austin, Texas, we saw similar audiences of people 80 plus.
Bro,
and up over in Oregon, it's like they came.
Why do you people care?
Where even the protesters in New York City started to wonder what was actually happening.
I'm at the protest right now in New York City, anti-Trump, anti-fascist protest, and I have one question. Where the is Gen Z? These people are cheering, they're talking like it's just the 60s, it's just like the 60s, and they're having conversations.
Like the 60s, dog, that's wild.
It's almost like when the majority of the country sways a certain way, you won't find too many people willing to show their face to stand against the administration that's actually following through on what they voted for. So minus the insane people that spent their time crafting an outfit decked out in Nazi symbols that they themselves volunteered to wear in public, I believe the majority of these attendees...
It's always so funny. They'll scream and shout that Trump and Elon and everyone who is on Trump's side is a Nazi or a fascist, yet they're the ones waving around Nazi flags and wearing Nazi symbols. I mean, didn't we have like a few... I don't even know if this was... This is still fresh off my fucking mind. That's why I feel like it's so recent. I don't know how fucking recent this was, but I remember on a campus there were people literally flying swastika flags around, wearing all black for some type of left-wing protest, and no one batted a fucking eye except people like Decoy Voice, who pointed it out. And I remember watching that shit, and I think I actually saw that because of a Decoy Voice video before I started like reacting to shit. And it just blew my fucking mind.
These were actually bussed in, and not just the protest in DC, but apparently Texas too, where the Democrats
they gotta bust these people in. That's hilarious.
To which Tony Saruga replied, they are going to...
I know I'm pausing a lot, but remember during the election when they were saying that they literally had to bus people into the Kamala rallies, and now we have people getting bussed into these protests? It's so funny how they have to put up... This is just as funny as those fucking people on Instagram who rent out like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and like these mansions and shit for like $500 an hour. And do it for like an hour and take all these pictures and pretend to have this luxurious life that they do not have. It's just as funny as that because it's just as sad and cringe and pathetic as that. Pretending to have all this support that you don't have is wild.
To geofence the event, because last time they found the protesters were from groups that receive money from Act Blue and USAID. And found that at least one of the DC were from summer.
No wonder they're mad USAID is getting fucking investigated. That's where all their money's going.
Bus Tour Incorporated, registered by the Chinese. Now it sounds concerning, but the Democrats may have just contracted a bus that happens to be owned by the Chinese, but it does raise a question of how are our tax dollars being funneled from USAID to the Chinese? But more importantly, Tony found that what they claimed was 30,000 was just over 7,000 mobile devices, with 92% of them having attended 5 or more Kamala Harris rallies or liberal protests. And we saw similar activity of buses bringing in supporters or activists to other liberal movements, which really makes you wonder how organic.
Like I pointed out earlier, the Kamala rallies.
Most of these Democrats in office crying about Elon Musk and Doge cutting wasteful spending had previously campaigned for the same thing. And now that they're angry about Trump's new tariffs, just like clockwork, Democrat leader...
It's wild. Like the exact shit that they'll campaign for and argue for, because Trump is now the one saying it, they'll immediately go against it. It's so fucking wild to me. It's baffling. And it's pretty funny watching these fucking clowns perform this weird circus.
Leader Nancy Pelosi encouraged exactly what Trump is doing back in 1996.
And there are those who say we shouldn't link human rights and trade and proliferation in trade. I disagree. But if we just want to take up this issue on the basis of economics alone, in terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Nancy Pelosi herself in 1996. That was before I was even born on this earth. Holy shit, dude. And it's weird. It's like the Democrats love using these talking points to like try to sway the people, but the moment a Republican starts actually doing all this shit, they immediately fucking lose their minds and are like, no, it's bad that they're doing what we said we were gonna do and what we keep promising we're gonna do every year. No, it's bad that he's actually doing what we promised we were gonna do 5 years ago, 20 years ago, however many years ago. It's fucking wild.
goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal?
So just a quick note while I'm editing this right now. I find it interesting that if you're currently a MAGA conservative, back in the 90s, you'd be a Democrat that supports Nancy Pelosi. If it wasn't for double standards, the Democrats wouldn't have standards at all. As just like with the stock market falling under Biden is now suddenly an issue under Trump. Egg price.
Yeah, this is also what's wild. Like, we were looking at, like, they were saying some shit about stocks in the news, and I just out of curiosity, I also like checked my stocks that I own, and I was like, okay, a few, like 6, I checked like the month, the 5 month, and I checked every single tab that I could, and every time it was like, okay, a month ago it was going down, 6 months ago it was going up, 5 months, a year ago it was going down, 2 years ago it was going down, 5 years ago it was going up. Then I checked the whole lifespan, and it's like, no, it's evening out, and that's like 90% of all the stocks that I own. And I even checked shit like this, the S&P and all that shit, and I was just like, this seems pretty average. Like, people who don't understand stocks and don't actually check like the 5-year date chart to see what the actual progress has been over 5 fucking years. Like, it's funny and wild, because I was just like, they're creating this weird false panic in the news that the stocks are going down and the market is crashing, when in reality the market is just evening out. This happens every year. The first quarter just fucking ended and people are losing their minds. It's like, bruh, the first quarter just ended. And they always try to provide the lowest numbers during the first quarter. but whatever. Whatever. I guess I'm a fucking right-wing fucking lunatic Trumper for looking at the data and actually analyzing shit.
Gas prices going up under Trump or hitting record lows, now they don't matter, or Doge cuts and tariffs. It doesn't matter if they previously wanted them or if it benefits their voters. If it comes from Trump, they have to default to attacking it. And that's probably why you can't gather enough people to stand against him that can actually describe why they don't like what Trump is doing, other than the bumper sticker slogans they were told to repeat. Yep. Because nothing about this outrage is real, which detracts from the actual...
Like, it's funny because I had a discussion with my grandfather, and he was like, well, the thing is, people's money, the wallets are bleeding. There's like a hole in people's pockets. And I just didn't want to continue like this weird argument because I knew I wasn't going to change his mind. So I was just like, yeah. I just started agreeing. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Prices are high. Yeah, you're right. But in my mind, I'm just like, no one said a single fucking thing about prices being high when Biden was in office. No one complained about gas just fucking skyrocketing when Biden entered office. No one talks about that. No one complained about that during 4 years of Biden. Trump's been in office, like I said, for like what, 2 fucking months he's been in office, and people are fucking blaming him like this is his fucking 3rd term consecutively. Voice crack, sorry. But like it's just wild to me. Like it's wild that people are just hating on Trump just for the sake of hating Trump. And yet when you bring up the fact that all this shit happened during Biden, they're fucking silent. They're stone silent. It's so fucking, it fucking hate the hypocrisy, dude. It fucking grinds my gears.
Issues every
really
American
pisses me off
today, as China just launched their Temu version of Trump on TikTok.
Chongqing, the city of hot pot of China, and we have to eat hot pot today. She understands me, tremendous lady. Sometimes I dip in his blood.
This is funny as shit.
Sometimes I don't. You never know what's my next move, and that's how I win. I'm unpredictable.
And I don't know about you, but that terrifies me.
Another pause. On a lighter, this is more of a lighter thing. I always find it funny that we always see everyone like imitating Trump, doing like a Trump accent and like pretending to be Trump, and Trump I have never once seen Trump lose his fucking shit over it or go on the internet and say anything bad about it. As a matter of fact, I think he's laughed at it several times and he finds it funny and flattering. But then you'll have people like Kamala and fucking New Scum who can't even take a joke, trying to threaten you with arrest. Itchy throat, fuck. But yeah, it's just funny. I love saying it. I love the Trump impersonations. They're always funny.
As me. So if you appreciate my concise, light order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video.
Oh, we're the one that got it at 10K.
Tesla vandals as victims themselves.
Yo, that was wild. I saw that title and I was like, that is wild, dude. How are you gonna... Oh my god, dude. Texas? He said Texas, chief? What is that? This is some shit I'd expect in California, sure. What I'd be like, oh great, another Democratic fucking puppet liberal chief in California, a bully with a badge. But in Texas? Really? Damn, that's wild. But anyways, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one later.